A lovely and warm welcome to the news on Hope Channel Zambia, television that changes lives. Stories making headlines in our news. A dental health expert says shisha smoking is among leading causes of oral health ailments. The Anti-Corruption Commission of Zambia, ACC, has arrested former Army Secretary in connection with the purchase of the presidential jet. Sioma district in Western Province in hunger threat as elephants have destroyed crops, coupled with a dry spell being experienced in the district. In religious-related news, Chipapa youths have built a two-roomed house for a 78-year-old man to mark this year's Global Youth Day. And Lusaka Central Church has donated bags of millimilk to Kamwala South flood victims. Details coming shortly. Don't go away.
My wife, bumper harvest. Eh?
Daddy,
I'm telling you.
your new fertilizer. Niamini.
Eh?
Iye daddy
Tell you.
Hello. My instructions. Maya kunka bwino mwamene.
I went to ETG, and now we are enjoying the benefits of using a blended D-compound fertilizer as Basil and Kynoplus as top-dressing fertilizer instead of urea that we used last year. Now look here. This year, it has given me 4 tons. 4 tons! But last year, it was only 1.8 tons. Kynoplus has given all my crops the nitrogen that I paid for. Wow. It has saved me money. Telling you.
Understanding the difference between soil and crop-specific fertilizers, therein lies strength for Kynoplus blended fertilizers. More value in a bag. Available in the ETG depots countrywide, with a network providing agronomy services to farmers across the country. Kynoplus. Enhanced efficiency through innovation. A product of ETG.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Bright Sinkozi with the details. And you're catching us live on channel 450 on the Top Star decoder. And we are on channel number 25 on the Movie TV decoder. Plus our live stream on Facebook and YouTube, the handle being Hope Channel Zambia. The details. Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo has challenged the Zambia Dental Association and oral stakeholders to tighten the emphasis on oral health, prevention and promotion in order to promote health among Zambians. The minister said deliberate school programs and community awareness programs should be created in order to reach out to school-going children and general members of the public and educate them on oral health. The minister was speaking in Chongwe district when she graced this year's World Oral Day in a speech read on her behalf by Dr. Alex Makupe, the Minister of Health Acting Permanent Secretary. Meanwhile, Zambia Dental Association President Dr. Nalumino Sayela has appealed to the Ministry of Health to look into unethical practices that are making rounds in beauty parlors who are offering tooth whitening services without medical expert. Dr. Sayela said the practice has proven to be harmful to people's oral health. She has also attributed shisha smoking, a common practice among youths, as one contributing factor to oral health ailments. This year's International Oral Day is being celebrated under the theme, Be Proud of Your Mouth for a Lifetime of Smiles. We have more in this.
Be proud of your mouth for a lifetime of smiles was the theme for today's International Oral Day, and Chongwe residents gathered at Chongwe District Hospital to commemorate this day. And guest of honor, Minister of Health Honorable Sylvia Masebo, who was represented by Dr. Alex Makupe, reiterated government's commitment to promoting health in the country and advised Chongwe residents to follow the rules of oral hygiene, such as consistent brushing of teeth in order to maintain good oral health.
The UPND government, under the leadership of His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, has placed health care a priority, including oral health. I therefore challenge the Zambia Dental Association and oral stakeholders to heighten the emphasis on oral health, prevention and promotion as to enhance wellness among our people.
And Zambia Dental Association President Dr. Nalumino Sayela has urged Zambians to avoid common practices like smoking in order to prevent oral diseases. He further encouraged the Ministry of Health to consider creating positions for dentists as a way of motivation in carrying out their duties.
But, most of our dentists that are working in government institutions still sit on lower positions, and they have never been elevated from the time they joined the government. I know this exercise was done last year, but I still wish to request that perhaps the ministry would consider creating some more promotional positions so that our members can benefit. Shisha is liquefied tobacco. The World Health Organization has raised a red flag on the use of
Chonge District Commissioner Dr. Evans Lupia expressed gratitude to the Ministry of Health for the continued support rendered in the district.
There is need for meticulous oral hygiene practices, mostly at primary level, particularly in early childhood education, primary and secondary schools, where preventive activities mostly supposed to be implemented. Consequently, this scenario has increased the cost of oral health services, particularly in hospitals like this one.
According to the International Dental Federation, 3.9 billion people suffer from one or more oral diseases world over, while over 50% of Zambia's population suffer from one or more oral diseases and may lead to death. Mwene Muyanga reporting for Hope News, Chongwe District.
In another item making headlines, the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, has arrested Evaristo Sakala, a former Army Secretary at the Ministry of Defense, for corrupt practices amounting to $400 million United States dollars in connection with the purchase of the Gulfstream G650 presidential jet. ACC Head of Corporate Communications, Timothy Mono, says Sakala, 53, of plot number 11257 Chalala in Lusaka, has been charged with one count of willful failure to comply with applicable laws and procedure, contrary to Section 34(2)(b) of the Anti-Corruption Act number 3 of 2012. Mr. Mono told Hope News today that between the 1st January 2017 and 31st of July 2017, Evaristo Sakala, being the Army Secretary and a member of the Ministerial Procurement Committee for the Ministry of Defense, and whilst acting together with others, did willfully fail to comply with the applicable laws and procedure in the manner he approved the award of the tender number MOD MPC 02417 relating to the procurement of the modernization of the Defense Forces program at a contract price of $400 million United States dollars to Elbit Systems Limited. He says the commission has arrested and charged 6 individuals, among them a former permanent secretary at the Ministry of Defense, Stadi Mwale, former Defense Secretary, retired Brigadier General Michael Obista Mbewe, and former Ministry of Defense Director General, Medical Services, and retired Brigadier General Frank Hadi Sinyangwe. Others arrested are Director Finance at the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, Isabel Wilima Chinji, and former Ministry of Defense Director, Human Resources and Administration, John Piri. Mr. Mono says Sakala has been released on bond and will appear in court soon.
The Anti-Corruption Commission has arrested Evaristo Sakala, former Army Secretary at the Ministry of Defense, for corrupt practices involving $400 million United States dollars and this is in relation to the procurement of a Gulfstream, the presidential jet G650. Mr. Sakala is of residence in Chalala and has been charged with 1 count of willful failure to comply with the applicable laws and procedure, and this is contrary to section 34(2) of the Anti-Corruption Act number 3 of 2012. You may wish to know the details are that between 1st January 2017 and July 2017, Mr. Sakala, being an Army Secretary and a member of the Ministerial Tender Committee for the Ministry of Defense, whilst being a member of that Ministerial Committee, together with others, they did willfully fail to comply with the applicable law and procedure in the manner he approved the award of the tender number MOD stroke MPC stroke 024-17, and this is in relation to the procurement of the modernization of the Defense Forces program at a contract price of 400 million United States dollars, and this contract was offered to Orbit Systems Limited, and this is a matter of concern to the Ministry of Defense, a public body. So far, the Anti-Corruption Commission in this matter has arrested 6 individuals, and these include the former Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Defense, Stadi Mwale, a former Defense Secretary, retired Brigadier General Michael Obista Mbewe, and former Ministry of Defense Director General Medical Services, retired Brigadier General Frank Hadi Sinyangwe. And the others are Director Finance at the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, Isabel Widima Chinji, and former Ministry of Defense Director Human Resource and Administration, John Piri. So Mr. Sakala has been released on bond and he is expected to appear in court soon.
Now, in a quest to encourage a girl child to continue attending classes, Petauke Area Member of Parliament Emmanuel Banda has collaborated with a social media influencer, Prudence Nakamba, popularly known as Mwizukanji, in supplying sanitary towels to girls in his constituency. Banda, who invited Mwizukanji to his constituency, says he is at pains to see girls who have come of age miss classes due to lack of accessing sanitary towels during their menstruation. He says this has greatly affected many girls who either remain behind in class or drop out of school completely. We have more in this.
The provision and access to quality education to children is always on the agenda of an elected leader. This call to have all girls attend the classes in schools has not been easy for some, more especially those in rural areas who face many challenges, including lack of sanitary towels. Petauke Area Member of Parliament Emmanuel Banda has since noted failure by some girls to attend the lessons during menstruation period with sadness.
Koma mwana kazi okondonkhala na vuto imozi upeze kutongana na monthly periods. Those monthly periods yakawera upeze mwana mwata ute kuskulu aleke skulu kuyembekeza kuti asirije then awerere kuskulu wamba kuzowerera kuskulu apeze kuti ayake epitisha kale aruta pasogoro yope wasalira akasalira nje okumbwa nsoni romba mupeze na skulu waleka niona kabungwe kayake kenze kuchiyawa kukafyuwe kula koko punzisa vana na kazi no wafolesha masanitary towels kuti vana wa masanitary towels osatokolekeja kuta kuskulu ninye mule opana minaka kabungwe kutawere kuno kusogoro wawera nayo masanitary towels amujeni okowera kuno ma weekendi no pasa.
Social media influencer Prudence Nakamba, popularly known as Mwizukanji, says no condition should stop a girl child from attending lessons and has since assured girls that she will continue supporting them through routine donations of sanitary towels.
Most of the time, zitima shita experience yakutati mwana mamuna bema challenges but mwana mkazi ikafika ija time upeza ati kapena zamvera nsoni kwenda ku school chifukwa alibevo sebenzesa siso so isivane funa ka group yatu organization yatu ni yakuti tisakirako so chabe chakuti titandizira mwana mkazi so ayenetaleta pa ni sample chabe enango yaliko so aliwonse mwana mkazi azachita benefit kuli program yatu so kwani kwenda masiku tizambo punzisa namo sebenzesela na vochita vonse but hapa nifuna nikambe zikomo kuli ba honorable na maifumu na bonse bali kuno potichita alao kubwera kuno pakti tipunzisaneko tichiteko na interact na bantu bamupeta oke zikomo kwambiri.
And Mombe Chiefdom anti-gender-based violence matron na Agnes Tembo, who is also the wife to Chief Mumbi, has thanked the area MP for considering girls in the constituency who will no longer miss classes.
Niyanyi njinga kwa mavuto ya tupeza. Songa ti kwa nkarai nuziva kuti girl child yatandizike. Niposo pawe vya chifu kwa kutivana na kazi akopa na mama skulu panjira. Mwaicho ni kuti ziko mokwambira MP, ziko mokwambiri ngakale amwizukanchi na guru yanu. Ntisebenzele pamozi kuti Mumbi Chiefdom becomes a better place to live.
The gesture by the area MP is one of the global calls that helps a girl child attain universal access to education. Patrick Daka in Petauke.
Let's take a break. We have more stories on the other side. Do stay with us.
Announcement from the Zambia Adventist Publishing House. We have moved to a new location. We wish to inform our esteemed customers that we have moved to a new location. Our new address is plot number 9221, corner of Independence Avenue and Bama Roads, on Lusaka Conference premises. This move is part of our ongoing effort to better serve our customers and provide a more convenient shopping experience. Please note that our phone numbers, email addresses, and websites will remain the same. Our office hours will also remain the same. We are grateful for your continued business and look forward to welcoming you to our new location. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact us on 0973 71 4242 or 0978 44 7469.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. We continue with the news, and just now we turn our focus into some agriculture news. Chongwe Member of Parliament Sylvia Masebo has called on the Ministry of Agriculture and their partners to educate more women and girls on the cultivation of high nutritional crops and how to process them if food and nutrition security is to be attained in communities. The minister, who is also Chongwe Member of Parliament, said this in Chongwe when she interacted with farmers and officers in the Ministry of Agriculture after handing over tricycles to 2 women farmer groups to help them with the transportation and marketing of their farm produce. We have more in this report.
Because without women, there will be no enough food in Zambia. We know that the backbone of the agriculture sector in Zambia is the peasant farmers, who constitute mostly women.
%75% of the agriculture workforce in the country is women and young people. It is for this reason that women and young people have been urged to embrace the growing of high nutritional value crops in order to improve the nutrition status of our communities and boost the health status of the country.
We teach more ladies, women, our mothers here, how to make these things from these things.
Yeah, it's rich in selenium and it helps boost the immune system. As a ministry, we are trying.
Farmers have been empowered with knowledge on how to grow these high value crops by Harvest Plus Zambia. District Agriculture Coordinator thanks and praises Harvest Plus Zambia.
One of the concerns that we have in Zambia is the high levels of vitamin A deficiencies, which affects the health of our children. So in collaboration with Harvest Plus, we've been promoting biofortified foods. These include orange fleshed sweet potatoes, orange maize, and iron-rich beans. So Harvest Plus has been supporting Chongwe with demonstration inputs so that we can demonstrate the production of these important food crops.
The cultivation of high nutritious crops is key to the promotion of sustainable health among communities in the country and can highly contribute to the immense economic growth of the country through the agriculture sector. Amos Mubamba, reporting in Chongwe District.
Now, 334 farmers are benefiting from the Farmer Field Schools set up by the Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, through the strengthening climate resilience of agro-rural livelihoods in agroecological regions 1 and 2 SCRALA project. Speaking in an interview with NICE, Senior Agriculture Officer Stephen Mulanda said that the schools are helping farmers learn about diseases and general crop management. Meanwhile, Sioma District is experiencing a dry spell as well as attacks from the 4 armyworms, and the Principal for Vegetable Production Officer, Mr. Morton Mwanza, said that this allows farmers to learn more about the 2 calamities. He further said that the dry spells on the field school have shown that crop diversification is important, as other crops have performed better than maize during the dry spell. Details are in this report.
The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, through the SCRALA project, has established 15 farmer field schools in Sioma District. During a monitoring activity with officers from ZARI and the Ministry of Agriculture headquarters, the Senior Agriculture Officer for Sioma District, Stephen Mulanda, said that the farmers are benefiting from the lessons being attained, such as diseases and general crop production.
Now, these farmer field schools, in the whole district, we have 15 of them, and the total membership is 334. So every week, the farmers meet once to learn about different types of activities happening here at the Farmer Field School, including diseases, the growth stages of the plant, nutrient deficiencies, and general crop management.
Sioma District is currently experiencing a dry spell as well as attacks from the 4 armyworms, including on the Farmer Field School crops. However, the Principal Vegetable Production Officer, Mr. Morton Mwanza, who was part of the monitoring team, elucidated that the 2 calamities are an opportunity for farmers to learn on how they affect crop production.
There's a dry spell in most of these areas, and most of the farmer field school crops, especially the maize, has been affected, not only by the water stress, but also by the attack by the 4 armyworm. But this shouldn't slow down the farmer field school, because weather conditions are also part of the farmer field school. So it's a learning lesson on the farmer field school. When we have such some dry spell, especially when we have other crops, we need to learn how do we work out and try to reduce the effect of this dry spell.
While the maize seems not to be doing so well during the dry spells, the ground has showed more resilience, and Mr. Mwanza further urged farmers to learn to diversify.
So in certain areas, in certain farmer field school, we have different crops, and they are still doing fine, better than the maize, which is wilting. So it also brings in the learning aspect of crop diversification. In terms of a dry spell, you can still get something out of other crops as long as you diversify. So we have a lot of learning lessons in terms of the weather conditions.
Part of the packages being taught by the farmer field schools is the usage of conservation agriculture, which is being appreciated by the farmers.
Conservation
Ndopu Sendoi reporting.
Still in Sioma, some farmers have been hit by a dry spell as well as elephant encroachment in some of their fields, leading to the possibility of the district having food shortages this year. Speaking during a monitoring activity with NAIS, Acting District Commissioner Dr. Mubitelela Sidilo said that most of the district is experiencing a dry spell as it only rained from January to February this year. He also said that most of the people may face starvation as their crops have dried up, and that it was very important for government and well-wishers to come to their aid. Meanwhile, in other areas which were not severely hit by the dry spell, farmers reported elephants destroying their fields, which was confirmed by Mr. Sililo during a monitoring activity around the district. He further termed the situation to be very difficult for many households to survive without any government intervention. Details are in this report.
Reports of a dry spell and elephant encroachment in some of the farmers' field prompted the Acting District Commissioner for Sioma, Dr. Mubitelela Sililo, to conduct a monitoring activity in various places around the district. The monitoring went as far as Sinjambele Agriculture Camp, which is over 120 kilometers away from the DC's office, where Dr. Sililo said that most of the crops are drying out and the majority of the farmers will face hunger, hence government needs to intervene.
So the district is experiencing a dry spell. In most of these areas, rain was only experienced from around January to February, and the rain has been very little. As a result, most of the crop is drying out. This means that a lot of people will face starvation for most of the year. It is very, very important that government and other well-wishers come on board to try and remedy the situation. Otherwise, the situation is very dire.
Some of the fields near the Zambezi River performed better, but ironically are the fields affected by the elephant encroachments.
It's evident that our elephants are destroying people's fields. This is making it very difficult for many households to survive beyond this time.
According to the field assessment report by the Ministry of Agriculture, Sioma District during the 2018-2019 farming season experienced an enormous drought, which resulted in a crop loss of over 87%. The current dry spell and elephant encroachments are calamities that need government interventions, as the projections suggest hunger is looming in the district. Ndopu Sendoi reporting.
We now take a break, and when we do return, we take focus into religious matters. Do stay with us.
This year, it is much bigger than it was last year. Prudence C. Lunzwe presents to you
Wemti Mawandi Album Launch.
Date 2nd April. Venue Government Complex. Supporting Group Subi. God and Vocals. Loud Cry. Ruben. Rudo. And John. Tickets 100 kwacha ordinary, 250 kwacha VIP. For more information, contact us on
0976 188237.
All roads lead to Government Complex, 2nd of April. This message is powered by
Thank you so much for still staying with us, and now for the rest of the news. Adventist youths in Chipapa Mission District celebrated this year's Global Youth Day by building a two-roomed house for a 78-year-old man whose house was at the point of falling as it was reinforced by damaged iron sheets and pieces of wood. Handing over the house, Southern Zambia Union Conference President Dr. Vani Munyumbwe commended the youth for their generosity. And House recipient Julius Siansege has thanked the youths for their kind works. We have more in this report.
March is a very special month for the youths of the Seventh-day Adventist Church globally as they join hands to do community service in their area. This year's program was celebrated under the theme, Love is a Verb. Chipapa youths demonstrated this theme by building a house for a 78-year-old man whose house was at the verge of falling and was supported by damaged iron sheets and pieces of wood. Handing over a two-roomed house, Southern Zambia Union Conference Dr. Vani Munyumbwe, who was in the company of Woodlands Conference Executive Secretary Jonina Mwako, has commended the youth of Chipapa for the project well done.
They make available this token of love to Mr. Julius Sianseke. The key objectives for our youth movement are discipleship as well as service. Every year in March, we have a week that we kickstart with works of mercy. We have called it Global Youth Day, emphasizing a key component, a key objective in our youth movement. To the young people of Chipapa, again we want to say thank you so much for making vivid your love and your faith in the Lord. Again, like we have said, Global Youth Day is a reminder annually of what we are supposed to do as young people, as a matter of fact, as church members, to make sure that we don't only say, you know, we love the Lord, we love each other. We must make sure that love is translated into action.
Receiving the keys to the house, 78-year-old Julius Kanseke has thanked the youths of Chipapa as he thought it was a joke when the youths approached him.
So, it pains Linda Jisi Nyanganda. Yariganda Kunduida, Gamboka Hula. So, Chiteni, Mwamireza, Ranjira Kunkondi, Bandigwa Hiris, Iriwano. So,
now we are gathered at Chipapa Mission District where our able youths have been able to come together and do something in the context of love being a verb. Our father, Mr. Julius, has been staying in a house which is about to fall, but we are glad to the youths of Chipapa Mission District to have come together and put up a proper home for our fathers.
We want to continue as Papa living a verb, because love is a verb. It's a doing word. As Chipapa Mission, we will partner with the conference as we do such acts of kindness so that the world may know him through works. Thank you.
Chipapa Mission District Associate Youth Leader has disclosed that the house was built at a total cost of 19,000. The project was undertaken by local youths who sacrificed their time by camping for 2 weeks to see to it that the house is complete.
Our budget from the onset, it was 15,000. But as we started building, things started changing because things are becoming expensive or your expectation is not what happens. But roughly I would say 19,000 is the money that we have used to make sure we complete this home up to the level where it is right now. 2-roomed house, a bedroom and a sitting room.
On behalf of the village headman, village secretary had this to say.
pamene naona kuno waidi mana wanituma kuti enda kwanga nsise uone bra vichitika kuno so that nine unetere utenga kulima otherwise kwa ini ndokondo pavane vachitika ivi na vaidima navabve nokondo that's why vanituma ziko.
Neighbors were equally amazed by this development.
Wese mukuli ine neighbor wa wakulu nakondwera kwambiri chachitika. Tinali kuganizira kuti kapene bangadalisike nyumba ya mtundu. Ndatine kunkhala waleti ngati mvula yamba kuloka. Nanga waja wakulu waligone mu nyumba muja. Iyi mvula ya mpeposo izawapulumusa. Badi kulinganza ti Mulungu mwine wake anacholinga alimopitila. Nyonga zikomo kulimo bayusi. Uzalekele pamenapa. Mulungu amudalise usiku na muzuva.
Mebo Chitimbiti, reporting for Hope News in Chipapa Mission District, Chilanga.
We will continue to show you what youths were able to do to mark this year's Global Youth Day that ran under the theme, Love is a Verb. Just now, let's now move to Kamwala South, where the flood victims, while they are still yet to come back to normalcy following their houses being submerged by rains, Lusaka Central Church on Sunday, 19th March 2023, donated some bags of 25 kilograms of mealie and clothes to the victims. The victims, whose livelihood is greatly affected, majority of them are seeking refuge from their neighbors who have not been heavily affected. Lusaka Central Church pastor Kenfield Sindolo said he is aware of the adverse effects the flash floods have caused to many homes in Kamwala South. And area ward councillor Mainda Simata has commended the Dorcas workers for working tirelessly in coordinating the donations to the people in his ward. And Dorcas leader Linus Kanyika said it is important to come together to help those who are in desperate situations. Mebo Chitimbit once again gives us more in this report. We seem to have a challenge with that clip. And finally, in our news, the Northern Region Public Campus Ministries of North Zambia Conference successfully held a revival Big Sabbath on the 11th of March 2023 at Mungwi STEM Secondary School in Mungwi District, whose theme was Pressing On. North Zambia Conference Youth Director Pastor Chiwemofia encouraged the congregation to press on toward the mark as always, and always to pray and call upon the Lord all the time. Total number of 981 members from 10 campus ministries branches in Kasama and Mungwi attended the Big Sabbath. Chileshe Mukuka gives us more in the following report.
God is the one who is able to bless you. You don't need any connection to anyone in the government, never. God is able to elevate you. Amen. So time, we can go to point number 2. Pray. Pray. How is the prayer?
I'm Mr. Songwe, HOD Practical Subjects Lunte Girls. With me is a group of 50 girls from Lunte Campus Ministry. I'm the patron. I'm not alone. I've moved with the matron, Madam Kabila, who is still organizing the food for our girls. It has been a wonderful gathering here, a spiritual gathering for all Christian campus ministries. We are blessed to have this program around, and how we wish to have this program to continue. Thank you.
We are happy to host this important revival, and wish each one who has come here to go with a blessing. So may the good Lord bless us all as we are waiting for
PCM, Public Campus Ministries, in this region of Northern. As you may know, our conference has been subdivided, that is at youth level, into 2 regions. We have Mutinga region, and then also we have Northern region. So today, 11th March 2023, we are gathered here at Mungwe Secondary School for the Northern region of the PCM. I'm very, very happy because people have come. About 10 institutions.
I'm Elder Mazimba Abraham, the regional representative for Kasama region, and coordinating 2 districts for campus ministry, that is Mungwe and Kasama. So we had a very special event today, a big Sabbath, and we praise God that the number has multiplied from the previous one to this one. Last we had about 570. Today we had 981 attending from 9 branches, that is Lunte, Gibeon Adventist School, Kasama College of Education, Kasama School of Nursing, Lukupa College of Nursing. We also have Kasama College of Education and other branches. We praise God that His work is moving so well where evangelism is concerned in campuses. We want to even appeal to our students that even as we hold the camp during the 4D, starting from 30th June to 4th July, a lot of them will register to attend the camp. We want at least to
That item brings us to the end of the bulletin. Before we go, let's recap on stories that made headlines. A dental health expert says shisha smoking is among the leading causes of oral health ailments. The Anti-Corruption Commission of Zambia, ACC, has arrested former Army Secretary in connection with the purchase of the presidential jet. And Sioma district in hunger threats as elephants have destroyed crops, coupled with a dry spell in the district. And Chipapa youths have built a 2-roomed house for a 78-year-old man to mark this year's Global Youth Day. Lusaka Central Church has donated bags of millimute to Kamwala South flood victims. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Bright Sinkozi on behalf of the entire studio and production team. My sign language interpreter is Sharon Akfuna. Many thanks to our correspondents across the country. God bless you as you keep watching Hope Channel Zambia, television that changes lives. Bye for now.